It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
I have some embarrassing news. You know how I don't remember, Mother's Day, birthdays, anniversary. No, I mean, I kind of do. Do I or don't I?
You remember them, you just don't make a big deal.
Yeah, that's probably the right way. Like, I know it's happening, but it's just another day. Well, we had a substantial milestone 2 days ago. 1,000 episodes of the Happy Families podcast on Wednesday.
That's pretty impressive, you know.
I'm making it sound a bit anticlimactic, aren't I? Yeah, well, we've done it 1,000 times and we still can't get it right. I mean, what are we doing here? If you haven't gone back and listened to all 1,000, there's a challenge for you. I think
don't do it.
It'll make your parenting better.
Start at about 184.
You'll hear a real evolution in the way the podcast has sounded over the years, but 1,000 episodes, Kylie, 1,000 episodes of Happy Families. Do you think that it's made a difference? Do you think it's helped people?
What I do know is that while ever you and I are engaged in these kinds of conversations, we're better parents for it.
Okay, I'll take that. I do get feedback from people, not just mum. In fact, there's an old joke, nobody listens except my mum. I don't think my mum listens to this podcast ever.
I don't think she does either.
No. Does your mum?
No, I don't think so.
1,000 episodes and our parents don't listen.
But our son-in-law does.
Yeah.
And so does our painter.
Oh, yeah. we have a painter.
And we were at the top of his list the day he was here painting. And he said, it feels a bit weird listening to your podcast
while I'm in your house.
So he decided he wouldn't listen to it that day.
1,000 episodes of Happy Families. I know I said it in jest, but seriously, if you've got the capacity for it, go back and listen. You can hear how bad we sounded at the start, but also the things that we talk about and the way that we can help your family. I reckon it'll make you a better parent. That's my promise. It'll make you a better parent. Anyway, if you are a new listener, thanks for being here for episode 1002.
And if you haven't left a review.
Oh, yes. Good one. If you haven't left a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, go there, click the 5-star button. We would be so stoked. 1,000 episodes. That's got to be worth a review. That'd be great. Tell people what you think. Let everyone know that you've listened to the podcast. You think that it's great. And we've got 626 ratings with 4.8 out of 5. I just looked it up. 4.8 out of 5. And the last one that we received was from Fifi Boss in April. Oh, it was only a few weeks ago. Helpful and hope-filled. I have found calm in the chaos and hope in the hard times.
Oh, I love that.
I recommend to any parent. That's a nice one, isn't it? We'd love to get more. Maybe you can jump on, give us 5 stars and tell us how awesome it is that, and you say, I've listened to 1,000 episodes.
Let us know who your favourite is.
That was kind of a wicked laugh. I can't believe it. All right, we need to do some stuff here. It's nice to chat, but we need to do some stuff. Kylie, every Friday, it's I'll Do Better Tomorrow. This is the bit where we talk about what's worked, what hasn't, how we're going to be better tomorrow, because we want to be intentional in our parenting. Me first.
No, me. Okay. I want to go first.
All right, ladies before gentlemen. Are you allowed to say ladies before gentlemen in 2024?
I don't know. I've never been politically correct before.
I grew up with that and I'm sticking with it. And I'm so sorry for anyone who's so feminist a sister that I've gone too far. But ladies before gentlemen, do you know what? So I'm working on this book about masculinity at the moment, writing a book about bringing up boys. And my definition of what it is to have healthy masculinity is that you help the people around you to feel safer and stronger. When you defer to others and let them go first, or I don't know, even something as old-fashioned as open up a door for someone, what you're basically saying is, I'm considerate of you. And I don't see that as being sexist. I see that as being thoughtful and empathic and kind to others. I don't see that as being a sexist thing. Anyway, we're not here to talk about...
You can open my door anytime you want.
Okay. Let's get off this. You want to go first. What do you reckon?
Well, it's official.
Yeah.
I am on Snapchat.
Oh, this is going to be good. Can I start? Can I start your I'll Do Better Tomorrow?
Oh, you're going to start my I'll Do Better Tomorrow.
No, you go. But I've got to jump in with the story. You're not allowed to do the story. You've just reminded me. Go.
I have pushed against Snapchat ever since the kids got on it. I don't understand it.
Correction, didn't understand it.
I still don't understand it. I don't even know how to do it.
Looks to me like you know how to do it pretty well, the amount of time you're spending on it at the moment.
But I'm about to go away And I was talking to the girls about how I can interact with them and specifically with the girls that I work with at church. And I really wanted to find a meaningful way.
Sorry, you're going to use the word Snapchat in the same sentence as meaningful?
Yes, I am. A meaningful way to connect with teenagers.
Right.
This is really hard. So I love using Marco Polo. Me and a few friends from the other side of the world connect via Marco. And I was like, maybe I'll just make a Marco Polo group. And the big girls looked at me and went, Mum, that is like so old school.
Yes.
You've got to use Snapchat.
Like Marco Polo, okay, boomer. Which you're not. Let's just be clear, you're not. But Marco Polo is a bit boomerish.
So they downloaded it for me. They showed me all the filters. And can I tell you, I have just had an absolute ball. And the girls and I have gone back and forth with these crazy messages that just make me laugh.
Yeah, well, welcome to the 21st century.
As the world changes, there's just this wonderful opportunity for us to not only understand our kids' world, but get involved in it in ways that are meaningful to them.
Okay, so I've got to jump in here. I rail against social media a lot, and Snapchat has definitely got a lot of drawbacks. But one thing, in fact, one of my team members, Evelyn, has been going on about this for a long time. The argument that I would make and that Evelyn has really hammered home because of she does the same thing with her kids on Snapchat is when you're on there, you have the capacity to, number one, know how it works, but number two, have better conversations. You can connect better. You can keep them safer. And we were driving back from an appointment just the other day. You were in the passenger seat. I was driving, and I noticed that you were on your phone because you'd stopped talking to me, which is one of my pet peeves. And next thing you know, I glanced at the screen, and you've got this crazy filter, and you've got these bug eyes and this tiny little mouth and a V-shaped face. And
It's an alien face.
I love how funny you think this is. Like right now, Kylie is falling out of her seat. She thinks it's so funny. And you're sending these messages to our daughters, just saying the stupidest things. And our daughters are sending back messages saying, this is the great thing about Snapchat. It doesn't matter. It's just about being stupid. It's about fun. Nobody cares. And what I have seen is, I mean, we've got great relationships with our kids anyway, but I've loved watching the joy that you've had as you there's this idea that all of our connections are supposed to be meaningful and deep. And yet, the guy that I bump into every now and again when I go surfing, don't even know his name. It's just, how you going, mate? And then we talk about nothing other than the surf conditions over the last week or two since we've last bumped into each other. It's a meaningless conversation. I don't know the guy. Still don't even know his name. And yet, I feel better for having made that connection. And research shows that just connections, regardless of how meaningful or meaningless they are, just having a sense of connection, feeling seen and heard and valued, having a conversation, it makes a huge difference. And that's what I'm seeing with you in this particular context.
So do I have your blessing? Is that what you're saying?
You're so funny. I don't know.
You might have featured in one of my snaps.
I'm feeling a little bit grinchy at the moment about it all. Let's just say I'm not going to get on it. I still see social media generally, especially for me, as the great unhappiness machine. It doesn't work well for me. But if it's working for you and it's not interfering with your relationships and your sleep and your physical activity and all the other stuff that's important, then you go for it, girl.
What's yours?
I'll do better tomorrow. Oh, gee. So
I bet it's not as fun as mine.
no, it's not as. Well, it's pretty fun actually. I had a win. You go out every Wednesday night and look after all the girls at church. So there's a group of like 20, 30 girls who are aged between 12 and 18, and you have responsibility for looking after their activities and I guess in some ways their welfare, their well-being. That means though that on a Wednesday night I'm at home with Emily, our 10-year-old.
Let's just put this in context. You have not been home.
No, that makes it tricky. When I'm traveling and you've got to take her along and she's not supposed to be there, it's tricky. But I've been home just recently and had the opportunity to spend Wednesday nights with her. And you left the other night in such a flurry of activity. And I'd only just walked in after a really big day. I think I'd done I don't know how many hours, but it was a massive, massive day. I've walked in the door at 2 minutes to 6. You've run out the door at 1 minute past 6. the kitchen's a disaster. The house is an uproar. Everything's just everywhere. And I looked at Emily and I said, well, what are the chances you're going to help me with the kitchen? And she walked out of the room. She was like, I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. I was like, come on. And somehow I just said to her, you know what, Em, I reckon it's about time we had a daddy-daughter date. We just need to have a Dad and Emily night out. What do you think? And she looked at me with her eyes wide. She said, really? I said, yeah, what do you reckon about some gelato? Now, you know about how I feel when it comes to spending money on like spending $6 or $7 on one scoop of ice cream. You know my attitude towards this.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is you definitely walked there, didn't you?
No.
That was the rule.
That was the rule. Okay, so we did walk there from where I parked the car.
You are so slack.
I said, if you want to have a daddy-daughter date, we've just got to do a bit of a tidy up. I'm going to work on the kitchen. And
so you bribed her?
No, I didn't bribe her. I just said, we can't do the daddy-daughter date until the house is tidy. I can tidy it or we can work on it together. You choose. And she said, no, I'll help. And I said, great. I'm going to do the kitchen. You choose and tell me what you want to do. And so she said, I'll do the dining room. I was like, okay. And she had the dining room done before I'd done a third of the kitchen. And she showed me and I inspected and I said, oh, well, I can see 3 things over there, but other than that, that's perfect. And I said, well, I've still got all the kitchen to do. Do you want to do anything else? Or do you just want to wait? And she said, no, I'll do the bathroom. And then she did the lounge room and then she did the bedroom, and then she vacuumed. The kitchen was messy. It took a while. And by the time that was all done, she was in the best mood. We'd been working together, got it all done, jumped in the car, drove down to Mooloolaba and parked the car in the car park, walked up to the gelato shop, bought her rich, dark, whatever it is, chocolate gelato. She
loves that chocolate.
She loves the chocolate gelato. And then we came home. She ate all of it. I kept on trying to convince her, why don't you have half now and half tomorrow? You'll be really glad you've got some tomorrow. And she just said, no, my sisters will eat it. Like she was convinced if I put it in the freezer, I'm not going to get the other half. So she ate it all right there and then. And then we sat down, laid down in bed. I read her a chapter of the book that we're reading together and she went off to sleep. And I just thought, this is what it's about. We got to talk about really cool stuff. We had fun conversation the whole time and she really wanted to chat. Kids want us in their lives. They want that quality time. And I'm just looking forward to every Wednesday night that I'm home when you go out for this youth night because I'm going to make it a thing. Daddy-daughter night with Emily down at the gelato shop. I think I want a winner. We really hope that helps to inspire you and make your family happier. Thank you so much for listening, especially if you've listened to all 1,002 episodes.
What a feat.
What a feat. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rowland from Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. And if you'd like more info about making your family happier, we'd love to help you out. Our details are at happyfamilies.com.au. Have a great weekend, everyone.